Hi, my name's Paul Baines, Professor of Political Marketing at Cranfield School of Management and co-author of Marketing 3rd edition by Oxford University Press. In this next clip we talk to Simon Wallis, the Sales and Marketing Director of Domino's Pizza. Simon talks to us about how a global brand develops its new proposition. He takes us through the process of new proposition development, but he also talks to us about how to develop new services, how to deliver the product on time, and also talks to us in detail about new marketing ventures.
My name is Simon Wallis. I'm the Sales and Marketing Director for Domino's Pizza here in the UK and Ireland. I've been with the business for about 4 years now. Been lucky enough to preside over a period of relatively strong sales performance, and also within that we've been growing our store base for the last 4 or 5 years. Particularly proud of the work that we've done in in the digital marketing space. 60% of our sales now come through online. That has a tremendous positive impact within the store economics of our business. That's fundamental because actually we're a business that's owned by 100% owned by franchise operators. We don't actually own any of our shops in the UK, of which we've got over 800 now. They're all owned by franchisees. You need to understand that getting the store economics is fundamental to encouraging franchisees to want to grow and drive their own businesses. Domino's Pizza was founded about 50 years ago in the States by a guy called Tom Moynihan. Very much built upon the premise of delivering hot and fresh, tasty pizzas within 30 minutes. Sounds a very easy thing to do, very hard in practice. Delivering hot and fresh, tasty food in that amount of time is a very difficult thing to do. Many people have tried to come to the market and failed. In the UK, we've been around since 1985. We first opened our store in Luton. Over the last 25 years, we've been building the brand out, certainly in terms of store openings and our overall sales performance. We've innovated in e-commerce to tremendous success, and that allows customers, it's a bit easier for a customer to place an order. At the heart of the brand for the last 25 years in the UK and a bit more, and a bit longer in the US, are 3 simple things: product, service and image. If you've got a fantastic product, you're delivering that product in terms of service within 30 minutes, and you have a positive and a exciting brand image, then you should succeed. We are thinking there's probably a 4th one which would add to that nowadays, and that's technological innovation. Technological innovation is important within our category, and by our category I mean the pizza delivery category, is that it's pretty hard to drive differentiation within our marketplace. If you think about how one of our stores looks and how that compares to one of our competitors, they're pretty much the same. Yeah, they're all about 1,000 square feet. They've all got a pizza oven at the heart of them. Now we would say that we service our customers a little bit more quickly than the competition, but it's quite hard to drive differentiation between yourselves and your immediate pizza delivery competitor. One great opportunity you've got is to build some technological advantage certainly through our e-commerce platforms. Not only through that, but you can also do it through innovation and other parts of the service proposition to ensure we stay that one jump ahead of the competition. So that could be through the development of our patented heatwave technology. So we're the only people that use the patented heatwave bag that keeps your pizza hotter for longer. We're the first people to go and launch you can order a pizza from an app on your smartphone. That makes it even easier for a customer to place the order from us. So anything that you can do that creates a period of technological advantage will potentially give you an edge in what could be a relatively undifferentiated category. I think you need an insight into a customer's mindset when they are thinking of ordering a pizza on a Friday night. You have to put that right at the heart of any innovation strategy. And for me, there are 3 drivers of that help define our problem. One, that people are, convenience is king. that I'm just looking for the easiest and simplest thing to order on a Friday night. I haven't got anything in the house, I can't be bothered to cook, just make it as easy as possible for me. So convenience is important. Secondly, to make that ordering process as simple as possible. So remove any of the blockages there are that could create a barrier to allow me to successfully place an order. Then thirdly, a recognition that in that category, in that occasion, people don't spend, whilst we'd like to think they would do, people don't spend 3 hours thinking about what they're going to eat that night. It becomes a very simple decision. Do you want pizza tonight, lads? Or are we going to have Chinese? Or are we going to have Indian? You need to try and ensure that your brand is most top of mind when people are starting to think about what they're going to feed their family in that evening. So an innovation has a critical role to play in that, and that allows your brand to cut through, to stand out, to be most top of mind when people are starting to think about food, typically between the hours of 5 and 7 o'clock in the evening. The first thing you have to do when identifying what is the right product innovation for your brand is to have a clear understanding of what your brand stands for. That then allows you to very quickly dismiss things that are off-brand and include things that are on-brand. We have a pretty clearly defined point of view of what the brand stands for in the UK. We would talk about at a very higher order level that ultimately Domino's feeds the power of the possible, one pizza at a time. Now there is a more complex brand identity model that sits underneath that, but I suppose it's best captured by the phrase that people don't consider eating halibut when they're brainstorming at night, but it's a little bit better over pizza. So that gets us a context in which we can go and innovate from. You then need to understand the constraints in which your operational model, your business model operates within. If we cannot deliver a pizza within 30 minutes to our customers, we are not in the game. So that rules out potentially complex cook platforms, things that are going to take a lot of time back of house. Indeed, the other constraint is financial. There is no point us putting innovation onto the menu that is going to cost the customer £55 to purchase, because we know they're not willing to spend that amount of money on that occasion. So you constrain, people typically spend about £20 when they're shopping with, on average, 2.8 people per group. So we know that we've got to be able to deliver a product quickly, but also in that kind of value context of around 20 quid. That then allows us to write, okay, that's the funnels you've put onto your innovation process. What we'll then do is then go through a 6-stage development process, DEDVIM, not particularly patented. I'd imagine it's a well replicated innovation process that many businesses will follow. But taking each of those stages in turn, firstly defining what the problem or the opportunity is. We'll then give that as a brief to our suppliers or to our MPD teams. There is an exploration brief. That's where our suppliers or MPD teams are then responding back to that defined brief with, and that's typically where your brainstorming happens. That's when they're conducting workshops, conducting more traditional brainstorming sessions. They're kicking a lot of different ideas around. Once those have been presented back, you then start to funnel those ideas down a little bit further, and you start to develop those ideas a little bit more specifically. So it may be that you've got an idea to come up with a new a pizza with a new crust on it. Then let's really start to develop what is the right kind of product that we can make within our operation under the financial constraints that we've got. And you validate that. That's the V of the DEDVIM process. You validate that with our customers, but you validate that with our operators. Critical in that we validate that with our operators. Going back to that point, that if we can't deliver a pizza hot and fresh within 30 minutes, we're in the game. So that testing would help determine whether or not we've been able to integrate that new product successfully without compromising the operation. Once you've validated, you may well validate in store, but also in certain for certain product launches, would validate with customers, perhaps in hall tests, conducting concept and product tests, or depends on the nature of investment level that's required around a new product. If we're launching something that is either going to demand a high level of marketing investment, therefore we may well go and concept and product test that first to prove the opportunity, or indeed if a product has an amount of capital investment, then we'd want to go and prove that opportunity before we go and ask our franchisees to make that investment. That validate stage, implement, so we'll then go and execute that piece of product activity across market. And then importantly, and if I say very candidly, the stage that we typically forget about is measure. Because that should then be a circle of define, explore, develop, validate, implement and measure that then helps drive the innovation process going forward. But I think like most fast-moving companies, you learn very quickly whether or not what you implemented worked or not, and you crack on to the next thing. There's really 4 ways that the customer's involved in our innovation process. Either firstly, right at the front end, helping us define what the problem or the opportunity is, and that's through a lot of desktop research. Secondly, in helping us funnel what are the winning concepts, and or more importantly, what are the losing concepts that you're not going to spend any more time or resource going to develop. Thirdly, to validate a product that we go and develop, is that in line with the concept that we originally screened and researched? Because you want to have an understanding whether or not the fantastic concept that performs so well, have you gone and delivered a product that matched against the expectation of that concept? And then finally, in gathering bioreaction feedback or through customer callbacks, how well have we done in delivering the product in market? You've tried the new chocolate twisted dough balls. What did you think to them? Would you improve them? That then drives the cycle of innovation within the delivering process. Now within our business, because we are relatively uniquely owned by our franchisees should be very close to their customer base. If you keep very close to your franchisees, they should keep you very close to what their customers want. These are local businessmen who own their own businesses, are passionate about driving their business. They have to do that by understanding what the customers want in their local trade zones, so they can keep you very close to what their customers are telling them about what Domino should be doing. We quite rightly believe that innovation is within our DNA at Domino's. That doesn't just mean within innovation within our products and new products that we bring to market. It doesn't just mean innovation within service, and be that the heatwave technology that we use to deliver the pizzas to the door, or our development of our and m-commerce platforms that just make it even easier for a customer to place an order. But it also goes to the remit of marketing. So we're always striving to be more innovative in our use of marketing. So that often means that we don't, a media plan doesn't just consist of the tried and tested TV laydown. There are things in our marketing mix that are far more disruptive. We are pretty proud of our development of our Twitter following, of our Facebook following, which are all ways in which we can create a conversation with our customers and demonstrate a more responsive side to the brand. But I think there's one mantra that really sits through everything that we do here at Domino's, and that is if you ain't going to be first and you ain't going to be fast, you ain't going to be famous. And I think we've demonstrated over the last 25 years, either with our first, with our development of our e-commerce platform, fast, doing it before anyone else is doing, and also delivering our pizzas pretty fast. We are undoubtedly the most famous pizza delivery brand in the world.